Hey everyone, in this lesson we are going to talk about how to design for the iPhone 10 and the safe area, all right? So with the release of the iPhone 10, we as developers had a new wrinkle added to our design flow. Now we have some devices with a rectangular view and some with rounded corners that go edge to edge with a top and bottom areas that we need to be careful about. On the top we have the sensor housing and the notch, and at the bottom we have the new navigation element. All right, and so I'm here in our storyboard. Let me go ahead and grab an iPhone 10 here. Now, it's actually pretty easy to make it so that your app works well across the prior and new screen sizes with what is called the Safe Area Layout Guide, okay? And when I say iPhone 10, I'm referring to the iPhone 10, the 10s, the 10s Max, and the 10 R. So if we look at our storyboard here, you'll see here under the view, the safe area. If we click on that, you'll see that it highlights this blue area. Now on an iPhone 8 and below, that safe area is just the same as the main view. But it also takes into consideration the navigation bar or the bottom toolbars. You can see here that it takes into account the status bar. And this just helps to make sure that we don't have any overlapping, underlapping, or cropping. But in the iPhone 10 size, we can really see the value of the safe area. Because if we constrain our UI elements to the safe area, we can rest assured that our elements won't get cropped by the corners or interfere with the bottom navigation element, like we can see in this image. And we can see here that the safe area also works in landscape, as shown in this image from an Apple Tech Talk on designing for the iPhone 10. And I'll be providing the link to this video and recommend watching it. It's a pretty quick one, only like 15 minutes. All right, another couple of things to consider when designing is that the aspect ratio is different for the 10 versus prior versions, as demonstrated in this image. So if you set your image to aspect fill, you might get some cropping. So keep that in mind when designing your images. Now, sometimes you don't want to remain in the safe area. For instance, if you have a background image, you want to fill the entire view. So let's see how to do that. So I'm going to search for an image view, drop this image view right in here. And first I'm going to show you what would happen if we constrained it to the safe area. So if I just do 0, 0, 0, 0, thinking that that might fill up the entire view, and we say add those 4 constraints, because for instance, if we take a look at an iPhone 8, it does look like that it's going to fill up the entire view, right? And we can add our image view here. I have an image here that we're going to be using later on in the course. And if I run this on an iPhone 8, it does indeed look like it fills up the entire view. However, if we run this on an iPhone 10, you'll see that we have these big white spaces at the bottom and the top, and that just doesn't look great. So what we need to do is, instead of constraining to the safe area, I'm going to switch back to a 10 here. I'm going to go to our constraints, and I'm going to remove the bottom and the top. And what I'm going to do is, looks like we got some issues here. Let me see if I can resize this. There we go. Is we're going to click right here on this little triangle. And instead of constraining to the safe area, you want the view. So this is the root view. So I'm going to click on that, and then I'm going to change it to 0. And same for the bottom. I'm going to click on the little triangle down here, set to view current distance, and then set to 0, and add those 2 constraints. Now you can see that our image fills up the entirety of the view for the iPhone 10. So let's go ahead and run that. Oh, I need to set that to an iPhone 10, run that, and voila. So overall, it's really not too bad designing for iPhone 10 and earlier versions. The most important thing is to utilize the safe area constraints, and you should be good to go. All right, so I will see you in the next one.